Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Delaney. I love thrifting, home decor, my cats, plants, all the good stuff, and welcome to my channel. Please ignore the little friends I've got going on my chin here. Don't pick your zits, guys, because it just makes it worse. But if you are also new here, I am a reseller, so I've been reselling for years now, and here's some of my inventory. I'm in my office. If you haven't seen my new office video, you should check that out. But anyways, I'm a reseller. I sell clothes, shoes, accessories, bags, home decor, all of that. And today I thought it'd be really fun to show you a giant vintage haul. On this channel, I don't share as much about my clothing that I get from thrift stores, just because I've kind of shared more about my home decor and all that. But I'm starting now, and I'm gonna start showing you occasionally. But this haul is massive. I'm talking, well, here's some of it all hanging up, and it is really good stuff. So yeah, but before we get into the haul, I wanted to talk quickly about reselling. You guys know that I have been in this business for many years now, and it is always a struggle to find good quality shipping supplies for my business at a good price. That's why I want to tell you guys about the Made in China app. Thank you, Made in China, for sponsoring today's video. The Made in China app gives me the opportunity to buy directly from the manufacturers, cutting out the middleman and the extra costs. That gives me the opportunity to save money and put it into buying more inventory. If you're like me, you're asking, is it safe? And it is. The app has reliable Chinese suppliers. In order to reduce trade risks for global buyers, all premium suppliers are verified by the world's leading inspection companies. Absolutely love how convenient and easy the app is to use. I have been specifically looking for poly mailers. This is a clear poly mailer that I store all of my inventory in these bags. And then this is a poly mailer that I would typically ship. So that's kind of what I've been looking for on the app to buy for my business, and they have a huge variety of them. Download the Made in China app. The link is down in the description, or you can scan the QR code that I will put right here. Enjoy thousands of top product categories and get coupons for your business. All right, guys, let's get into this video, and buckle up because it's probably going to be a long one. So many good vintage 90s, a little bit of early 2000s, maybe late 80s, but there are so many good items in here. And who knows, maybe you can raid your grandparents' closet, or you can go to Goodwill and find some of this as well to sell, because vintage is one of my absolute favorite things to sell. It sells so well, and it is always really highly sought after. Okay, I'm gonna try to go fast. This is a vintage 90s Indianapolis Colts crew neck sweatshirt. I absolutely love the graphic on that. That's super cool. Here is a vintage Colts coat. I live in Indiana, that's why you'll see a lot of Colts things. This is the brand Pro line, and it is from the 90s. It's actually a kid's coat, but I got it at the bins for only $1, so I thought that was really cool. Oh, and let me show you the back. The back's kind of the coolest part. I got this 1995 Logo 7 Bengals shirt. This is super cool. I absolutely love that. Okay, this is awesome. I'm pretty sure this is late 80s. I will show you the tag here. It is a starter Celtics jacket. It's kind of like one of those satin bombers. There's nothing on the back, but I thought that was really cool. I got that at an estate sale. Oh, and I should mention that I do have a lot of vintage listed in all my shops, which will be linked down below, but a lot of this stuff is all of my new inventory, so it's gonna take a while before it is all up. But if you are interested in anything, you can always DM me on Instagram or something like that, and we can work out a deal that way. Okay, this brand is TNT, and this is a 90s Notre Dame sweatshirt. Little crew neck. Again, I live in Indiana, and Notre Dame is pretty close to me, so you'll be seeing lots of Notre Dame and Indianapolis Colts. This is a 90s I always have a hard time saying this, Marlboro, probably still said it wrong, little fleece jacket. It is reversible with this buffalo check on the other side. Thought that was amazing, really cool. And also, I don't really remember prices on all of this, but it is all thrifted. Super popular last winter, so I'm hoping they come back. I think Travis Scott wore this, I'm not sure. It is a 90s Nike turtleneck, the black with this on the neck. A lot of people were layering this under crew neck sweatshirts. So hopefully that's coming back soon. I need to get that one listed ASAP. All right, we've got a 90s Mirage Red Wings leather jacket. Really like the back of this. I think that's really cool. And I understand that some of you might be coming to this video specifically because you want to see a haul and you know about vintage, but some of my subscribers, you guys might not know that much about vintage, but hopefully you guys can learn some good brands and things to look out for. Okay, I have a vintage Champion reverse weave. They are remaking the Champion reverse weave, but the vintage ones sell for quite a bit of money. I believe I have this one listed around 100, maybe more, maybe less, I don't really remember, but it's a really cool color and it's in really good condition. Okay, this jacket is so cool. It's made in the USA. It is a vintage Las Vegas Mirage, which is a hotel, a casino in Vegas. If you've never been, it is this really pretty silky bomber, and here's the back. Sadly, I don't think this will sell for that much, just because there's not that many people out there collecting Las Vegas jackets, but it's still a really cool find anyways. Okay, another 90s Nike. There is a lot of 90s Nike in this. It's a jacket. Nothing too crazy about this one. It does have the spell out here, some gray sleeves down the side. I still thought it was really cool. All right, I keep moving, you guys, but I just want to make this as quick and efficient as possible. So first up, this is an 80s Nike. It is made in the USA. Look at that amazing tag. Sadly, there's nothing cool about this one. It's just a pullover. There's no cool logo or anything, but 80s Nike will still sell well, so definitely had to pick that up. And some of these do still have the tags. This one I paid $8.99 for because our Goodwill is greedy. Here is a vintage Tommy Hilfiger jacket. Tommy Hilfiger used to be a lot more popular. It's just really kind of gone downhill. I'll definitely still be able to sell it, but I try not to pick it up as much anymore just because it's not really doing that well. This is a North Face. I don't know for sure if it's vintage. I don't think it is, I'm not really sure, but it was cool regardless. It's just a nice little vest here, a nice color. Here is a vintage Reebok. This is definitely 90s. It's got, this is cool, it's got a hood folded up in here, which I really like that. Again, vintage Reebok doesn't necessarily sell the best, but I love picking these up just because there are some people who will buy them for 20, 25, 30 bucks depending. This is really cool. This is a vintage dead stock, and if you didn't know, dead stock just means that it's vintage and new with tags, so it's got all of its original tags on it, which I really like. This was originally $42 back in the day, and this is from the 90s. I absolutely love this color way. It's a Columbia jacket, which is pretty cool, but the coolest part is just that it has its tags. I always love that. Here is a vintage 90s, the gray tag Nike jacket. It just has the spell out right here, which is kind of hard to pick up on the camera, but pretty cool jacket. You can't really go wrong with vintage Nike. You can always get your money back and more. Usually, depending on the item, if it's just a plain shirt, you could get 20, 25, but some of the more rare pieces you could get upwards of $100, $200. I've sold sweatshirts for $150 before, so I'm always picking up vintage Nike. Since I have so much here, I'm just gonna skip through some of the like more random things. Here is a vintage Polo Sport. Here's the tag, and it's got this really cool one down at the pocket here. There was a time last winter when I went to our local Goodwill and I got so many vintage jackets. It was so cool, and some of this stuff is from last winter because my husband likes when I buy stuff to wear it a little bit and then I'll sell it. So some of this is just older from him. Here is a vintage Tommy Hilfiger jacket. Again, the hood is folded up in here and it has the spell out on the back. Also, these colors are really cool. I feel like these colors are a little bit more rare. And then this is another vintage Tommy. I actually picked these both up at the same time, so I'm guessing that they were by the same person. But yeah, this is a cool Tommy jacket. This is like the jacket section, if you couldn't tell. Another vintage Reebok. Nothing too special about that one. And another vintage 90s Reebok. I hope that this is interesting for you guys and not a little repetitive, but I always love watching these. Here is, this one's really cool. It is a vintage Adidas jacket. Here's the old tag here. And it's got the spell out right here. And it's some pretty cool colors. So that's kind of cool to find. I feel like I don't find a lot of really vintage Adidas stuff anymore. Here's again another 90s Nike tag, just a regular Nike jacket. Again, these types of Nike jackets I don't really get like any crazy amount for, but they're still really good flip. Right, here is a center swoosh Nike sweatshirt. These are big money usually, or decent money anyways. So I'm excited about that. And then here's another one. The swoosh is down here. And these are both from the 90s. This one's really cool. It is from, I thrifted this in college because this is the town I went to college in, Palm Beach, Florida. And I just thought this was really cool. It's just a Tulex, or it's a Tultex sweatshirt, but it is from the 90s and it's really cool. I just never wear it, so I'm gonna put it up and hopefully somebody will want to buy that. There's a blank Russell athletic sweatshirt. And this is not vintage, but it's kind of cool. It's from Urban Outfitters. I got this for my husband like years ago there, but they put it on a tag that kind of looks vintage and the graphic kind of looks vintage. So I thought that was cool. It's not vintage, but still pretty cool. It is a 90s made in the USA Converse sweatshirt. Another one from my personal closet. This is absolutely amazing. It is a 1983 Harley Davidson jacket. Here's the back and here's the front. This is so freaking cool. I kept this for a while. It's on a Hanes tag. This is definitely very old. So cool. I kept it for a while just because the sleeve has a hole right here, and I think that there was like maybe one other thing wrong with it. Oh yeah, there's a hole on the side. So I'm obviously, if this was in perfect condition, I could get really good money for it, but since it's kind of beat up, I'm just gonna do some research and see what I can sell it for. Okay, these next few I'm gonna breeze through. Here is another Champion reverse weave, the vintage ones. Again, those sell for really good money. Here is another vintage Champion sweatshirt. It is not the reverse weave, but it's got a cool logo there. I thought this one was so cool. It is Bum Equipment, it was really popular in the 90s. Here is the tag. And it says Bum Equipment here. This is a striped sweatshirt. I thought that was super cool. Here is a Niagara Falls, let's see, is this made in the USA? I think it is. Yes, Hard Rock Cafe sweatshirt. Here's the back, it just says rock and roll. This is a vintage 90s Nike golf sweatshirt, just says Nike Golf on it. And then this one is from the 80s. Here is the tag. Sorry if I'm not doing a good job showing those. And this is just a Nike sweatshirt. It's got the spell out right here. I absolutely love the color blocking as well. Okay, I've got some more. I'll try to hustle through. Pretty much all of these right here are vintage 90s, maybe late 80s Nike shirts. Nothing too crazy special. And here's some of the tags. This one I'm pretty sure is late 80s. Here's the tag. Just says Nike on it. It's really cool. This one I actually think is early 2000s. Just a little Nike shirt. This one is 90s. Most of these are the exact same 90s. This one is also 90s, just a little Nike athletic shirt. This one is like a racing tee. I'm pretty sure it has Nike on the sleeve, and there's the tag, that late 80s tag. Here is a 90s Nike shirt, and it says a woman's work is never done, and it's got like all these household chores and basketball. And then on the back it says thread the needle, hang them dry, clean the glass. Basically like all things that women do in basketball. I don't know, it's kind of cool. And then this is a really cool tag, made in the USA. Just this striped little Nike shirt. Okay, I'm close to done-ish. Hope I'm not boring you. This is another one of those Nike shirts. It's a mesh material. The tag has been cut out, but I do know that it's vintage. This is another dead stock. This is a jersey. Miller, I don't know that much. I always have to look up jerseys because I'm not a big sports person. But here is the dead stock tag. I'm pretty sure that this is late 90s, early 2000s, but again, I'd have to look up all of that. This shirt is so stinking cool. Just very old. It's basic. It's got some cool white stitching, single stitch. And here's the tag. This is why it's so cool. Fruit of the Looms, made in the US. And I'm pretty sure that this is from the 80s, because I've seen the Fruit of the Loom tags from the 90s, and this just seems way older. And it's just really, really cool. I love all the stitching. Right, another dead stock. This is a Sox jersey. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the timing of this one. Here is the tag, Majestic. I'm pretty sure it's late 90s, early 2000s, and I got this one for $9.99, but it is dead stock, so I definitely wanted to pick that up. That does add some value. Here is a 90s Champion. Here is the tag. Bulls basketball shirt. This one, I don't know if you can tell, it does have some staining, so I want to try to get more of that out, but it's still a cool shirt regardless. This is just a cool, nothing too crazy about the brand, but it's a 90s made in the USA. Just a really cool graphic shirt. It's kind of got like an Aztec print, but the colorway is really cool. It's like a neon pink and purple. Here is a 90s No Fear shirt. This brand is like really coming back. A lot of people really like it still. Pretty cool. And then my husband is a big fan of Marvel, so these were from his personal collection that I'm selling for him. This is a Marvel shirt. Let's see if it has a date. I don't see a date, and it's not single stitch, so I'm not sure that this is vintage. Probably not. There's the Marvel tag, but it is definitely older. This is a Fruit of the Loom made in the US shirt, and it's single stitch. This is so cool. Big single stitch graphic shirts like this always sell, and it just says we need God in America again, which is kind of true today as well. But yeah, absolutely love it. Okay, here another brand that I always pick up, you can never really go wrong with, is Carhartt. Here are just, this is like a mix. Some is vintage, most of it is newer, but it's just a mix of Carhartt shirts that I'll be listing, and if some of them are the same size, I might lot them together, but I always sell Carhartt. You guys, this is gonna be a long video. There's so many goodies. I still have more, which is crazy. And in this video, I'm not even showing you pants. I do have a ton of vintage Levi jeans that I'm gonna be putting up soon, and a lot of like vintage jogger sweatpants that are like Nike, Adidas, things like that. I like to pick those up. Those sell pretty well. So I'm not even showing you those, but I have those as well. Try to zoom through these. This is a made in the USA best Fruit of the Loom shirt. Absolutely love this. It's single stitch. It looks like it's never been worn, and it just says we'll fly for food. Another Marvel tee, which I'm gonna have to ask my husband if these are vintage or not. Here's the tag. I know that they're old. They may be from the late 2000s, I'm not sure. This is a, let me hold it up here, just a Lowe's racing tee. It is from 1995, and it is single stitch on a Fruit of the Looms tag. Anything that is single stitch I usually will pick up, just because those items do sell well. This is another single stitch shirt. It's so cool. It is, again, a best Fruit of the Looms made in the USA tag. And it just says, being a woman isn't easy. It requires dealing with men. And amen. Am I right, ladies? Oh, and that one I paid $1.99 for. The racing tee was $4.99. Some of these I have not taken the tags off of yet. And then we've got a Bulls Pippen jersey, a champion jersey, which is pretty cool. I also really love selling jerseys because they always sell really well. Okay, this is one of my coolest finds, and I only paid $1 for it. It is a 90s Nike shirt, and it is kind of yellowed, which I just got this new cleaning product that I'm going to try out that is supposed to take out the yellow from shirts. Because vintage clothing, a lot of white shirts kind of turn yellow over time. So I'm gonna try. I don't know if this was meant to be like a cream or if it's just faded over time. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's a cool Nike shirt. Down the front, it just has this little spell out. You guys can't read that. It just says Nike. And then it's got a lot of distressing around the neck. I just love that. I think it looks so cool. And then here is the back. And I can't remember what this says. It says just do it, which is kind of hard to see, but I just think that this is one of the coolest Nike shirts I've ever found. It is a vintage Adidas, kind of like a baseball looking shirt, mesh shirt. Here's the tag. I paid $4 for it, and here's the old Adidas tag if you can see that. Next is another kind of jersey-like shirt. It is a Nike Sports, which Nike Sports, it's this tag, is from the 90s, and that really sells well for me. But this is just a Chicago Bulls kind of like, almost looks like a practice jersey type top. This is just a little vintage champion t-shirt made in the USA, and it is single stitch as well. This is a 1996 Indianapolis racing tee from the Indianapolis 500. And I just love when shirts have a date on them. I also found this Made in USA Coca-Cola shirt. It is single stitch as well. There was another side. I only have these last few and my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna be quick. This is a 80s USA sweatshirt. It's just got some fireworks. I absolutely love that. Look at this Wrangler shirt. This is so stinking cool. And Mickey Mouse. We've got this 80s Spider-Man crew neck, Fruit of the Loom. This is a 1989, I was like 1950s Cubs wind shirt. This is an Everything Coolman St. Martin single stitch, and a 1996 Bulls. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that. I know it was a little bit different, but I hope that you liked it. And let me know if you want to see more like this, because I do have tons more vintage. Bye guys!